All right, integrated one. I'm going to go ahead and do another domain and range problem with you. That way, if you're stuck on this, you can get some help. So the first thing I'm going to do is remind you that domain is asking about the x values and range is asking about the y values. So I'm going to start by color coding. I'm going to color code my domain as red, and I'm going to color code my range as blue. So why does this matter? Well, because we have to be able to read this infinitely. So what do I mean by that? Well, even though on your paper you have arrows because I drew them in, there are technically arrows here, right here. Do you see those? Here's the deal. This line or this shape, this picture, this graph, it's not just moving up right here, it's also moving to the left. And so when we're trying to read these graphs, we have to break up the movement from left and right movement and up and down movement. So here's what I do. Check out the domain. Domain is left to right. It's going this way to this way. So what do? Is this thing going left? Is it going up? Yes, it's going both directions. So I know it's going this way, and then I know it's also going up. So I'm going to draw my arrows so I can help my mind understand this more. Now I'm going to go over here. On this side, these arrows, it's going right, barely, but it's also going up. So it's going two directions. So it's going this way and that way. And then I'm going to make sure I have this color coded. So now let's go ahead and read this together. So when it's asking for domain, it's saying, where are my x values starting? We read from the negative numbers, which is the left side. Where are they starting? Well, this arrow means infinity. And if you look at this going to the left, if we're going to walk from the left-hand side, there's no starting point. It goes on forever. Forever in math is called infinity. And in this case, it's negative infinity. So remember your symbols. If you don't remember the symbols, they're next to the phone oasis up at the front of the room. So infinities always use parentheses. So it starts at negative infinity for this one. And then it ends up going all the way over to positive infinity. That's where that goes. Cool. That's pretty easy and straightforward. How did I do that? I just broke my movement into two separate areas or two separate directions, and it allows me to answer this a lot easier. Now let's go to range and look at the blue. Range is negative to positive, just like domain, but with y values, it's up and down. So starting at the bottom. So I'm coming from the bottom, I'm coming from the bottom. What's the first y value I see? It's right here, which is 0. And guess what? Since there's no holes here and it's not an infinity, it's going to be a bracket. And it starts at 0. And then I'm going to follow the line all the way up and check it out. This arrow is saying it's going up forever and ever. Up on the y-axis is positive, so it's going into positive infinity forever. Just like that. So on number 6, I'm going to help you with your arrows, but you're going to have to do the rest. So the domain, let's color code. This is actually going up forever, but it's also going to the right forever. This one's going down forever, but it's also going to the left forever. Let's color code with blue right here. And then this one's also going down. And then this one's going up. Cool. So that's what we have. So now that I've split up the information for you, your range is color coded blue. You should be able to be like, where does this thing start? At the very bottom, the negative bottom forever. This right here, etc., etc. One more little task before we go forward. I'm going to switch colors to, let's do green. Function 1-to-1. Remember, for function testing, that's the vertical line test. That's the up and down. So I'm going to go through. If I go through here, it only passes one time. One time, one time, one time, one time, one time, one time, etc., etc. That means, yes, this is a function. Now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and test, is this a 1-to-1? I'm going to use black. How do I know this? I'm going to cross with the horizontal line test for 1-to-1. And now I'm going to go. Crosses once, crosses twice, boom, we don't like that. It should only cross one time if it's 1-to-1. Since it crosses twice, nope, it is not 1-to-1. So it is not 1-to-1. And that's that. This right here on number 6 looks flat, but it's not technically flat, so the line will only cross once in this area per thing. It's just kind of hard to tell. So good luck on answering number 6. The solutions are in the back of the room.